You love deeply, maybe too deeply. You adjust, you accommodate, you shrink yourself into whatever shape the other person needs. And somehow, you still end up feeling invisible. That's not love failing you. That's a pattern running silently beneath the surface. And today, we're going to name it. Here's what it looks like from the inside. Your partner seems distant, maybe frustrated, and before they say a single word, your body is already scanning. What did I do? How do I fix this? What do they need? You apologize before you're asked to. You agree with things that quietly bother you. You downplay your own desires because theirs feel more urgent. And after a while, you don't even know what you want anymore. Psychologists call this self-silencing. Dr. Dana Jack, who spent decades studying depression in women, found that people who chronically self-silence in relationships, suppressing their needs to preserve the connection, develop a fractured inner life, an outer self that performs, and an inner self that quietly disappears. You're not weak. You're not needy. You learned this. Most people pleasers in love were once children in unpredictable environments. Maybe love felt conditional. Maybe conflict meant danger. Maybe being needed was the only way to feel safe. So you became excellent at reading rooms, at soothing tension before it escalated, at being easy to love so no one would leave. The tragedy isn't that you cared. The tragedy is that you disappeared while doing it. Here is what this is not. This is not a character flaw. This is not proof that you're too sensitive, too anxious, too much. What you developed was a survival strategy. And it worked once. In attachment theory, psychologist John Bowlby described how children form mental blueprints, what he called working models for how relationships function. If your early bonds taught you that love requires performance, your nervous system filed that away as truth, not as trauma, as instruction. You are not broken. You are operating from an outdated map. Here's what's happening in your brain. When you sense tension with someone you love, your amygdala, the brain's threat detection center, activates. But here's the twist. For people pleasers, emotional disconnection from a loved one registers as a physical threat. Not metaphorically, neurologically. Your brain treats, they might be upset with me, the same way it treats, I might not be safe. So, your nervous system responds accordingly. Fawn. Dr. Pete Walker expanded the classic fight-or-flight model to include two additional responses, freeze and fawn. Fawning is the reflex of placating others to neutralize danger. It's not kindness. Not always. Sometimes it's your amygdala trying to survive. And over time, the brain reinforces this loop. Each time you self-erase and the tension dissolves, your brain logs it as success. It worked. Do it again. Dopamine rewards the relief, not the authenticity, not the honest conversation, the relief. So the pattern deepens. And slowly, without noticing, you build an identity around being needed, around being agreeable, around being safe to love. So how do you begin to change this? Not with grand gestures, with small recalibrations. 1. Learn to locate yourself. Before responding in any moment of relationship tension, pause. Ask, what do I actually feel right now? Not what you should feel, not what would be easiest. What is true? Psychologist Tara Brach calls this RAIN: recognize, allow, investigate, nurture. It teaches your nervous system that your inner experience is worth pausing for. 2. Distinguish between kindness and erasure. Genuine care flows from fullness. People-pleasing flows from fear. When you agree to something, does it feel open or does it feel tight? Your body knows before your mind does. 3. Practice tolerating discomfort in small doses. This is called exposure in behavioral therapy. Let someone be briefly disappointed. Don't immediately fix it. Sit with the discomfort. Notice that you survive it. Your nervous system learns safety through evidence. Give it evidence. 4. Build an identity outside the relationship. Research on enmeshment, first described by Salvador Minuchin, shows that when two people lose their individual boundaries, intimacy paradoxically decreases. You cannot truly be known if you are constantly shape-shifting. Pursue something that is entirely yours. A creative practice, a friendship, a quiet discipline. Not to pull away, to have a self to bring back. 5. Communicate one true thing per day. Not a confrontation. A small truth. I'd actually prefer this. I felt hurt by that. I need a moment. This is how trust in your own voice is rebuilt. One quiet sentence at a time. Here is the model to carry with you. Think of a healthy relationship as two rivers running alongside each other. They share the same landscape. They influence each other, but they remain distinct. People-pleasing is one river dissolving into the other, believing that merging is closeness. It's not. Real intimacy requires two whole people. You can only be truly known when there is a you to know. You chose love, even when it cost you. That speaks to something profound in you. But love was never meant to require your disappearance. The work ahead isn't about becoming harder. It's about becoming more honestly yourself. Slowly, without forcing it. One true feeling acknowledged. One boundary held with gentleness. One moment of sitting with discomfort. Instead of rushing to smooth it away, you are not too much. You were simply taught to believe that being yourself was a risk worth avoiding. It isn't. The most generous thing you can bring to love is your actual presence. Take your time, but don't take forever. Want to understand relationships for real? Hit subscribe or stay confused.